Welcome to the Echo Sportscast, number 58.
I'm Jackson Bull.
And I'm Ben Sargent. The NDA football semifinals happened last Saturday night at Omichelle between the Bears and the Trojans, with the Trojans punching their ticket to the finals that are happening tonight at 7 o'clock at Omichelle against the Barons. We do have highlights from that semifinal action with interviews as well from Ferris head coach Mark Robertson and wide receiver Wes Buell.
The Trojans and Bears were also in action on the basketball court, as we have highlights from the junior game on Tuesday night, as well as setting up the playoffs for next week.
Scullard and Franco battled against each other in an important game heading into playoffs in boys senior volleyball. We do have highlights from that game from Wednesday night.
Action MMA had their 10-year anniversary event of the K1 kickboxing. We have photos and results.
All of that and more on the way, but first, a word from today's lead sponsor, Source for Sports. It's almost that time of year. Early mornings at the rink, fresh notebooks and backpacks, and a community gearing up for another great season of varsity sports. At Source for Sports North Bay, we're proud to be part of it all. Whether it's finding your kid's first pair of skates, gearing up for tryouts, or outfitting your team for the season ahead, we've got you covered. Because here, we're not just a sports store, we're neighbors, coaches, teammates, and fans. And we're proud to cheer you on every shift, step, and stride of the way. Visit Source for Sports North Bay at 1321 Fisher Street and let us help you along your way. So semifinals for the senior boys football is over as West Ferris took down the Bears 49-12. It was Chris, our resident content director, who was there getting the footage as I was at the Powassan Voodoo's game on Saturday night. But as he got there at half, he said it was pretty much over. It was 49-6. Trojans defense was suffocating, got out to a lead early, hit fast, and he ended up grabbing a couple of great interviews. And as we head into the finals now against the Algonquin Barons, which is happening tonight against Omichelle, let's first hear from head coach Mark Robertson and wide receiver Wes Buell after the game.
All right, Coach, so this is the semifinals of the senior NDA football. The score was, I believe, 49-12. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel great. Yeah. It's a tough opponent, right? Scholar Hall is a fantastic program and a great team, and it came together for us tonight.
What do you think at this point made up your actual game plan for this week? I mean, you had a lot of points. How's your defense? That kind of came in late. What kind of gave you the edge early?
Well, we wanted to start fast. We have explosive players, and we talked all week. We want to come out of the gate fast and just execute plays when we had the opportunity, and we did that, and yeah.
So next week, I'm pretty sure you're facing off against the Algonquin Barons. What's your game plan going into that game next week?
So listen, Algonquin, defending champs, fantastic program over there, right? We got to play, obviously we got to play great football. We got to be disciplined, can't take penalties, and no turnovers, right? I mean, they're a class act over there, so we'll have to be at our best.
Defending champions, right? In order to beat the best, you got to beat the best. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. They finished on first place, and they got the bye to the final, and see what happens. Like I said, it's a great program. We got to be at our best and play error-free football.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, Wes, semifinal game, big game. Historically, the Bears have been like the West Ferris rival. Today, didn't look quite like a rivalry to me. 49-12, I think, right? How'd you feel about putting on a steep win before going into the finals?
Man, it was sick. I mean, we came out really hard. We've been starting flat the last couple games, so we just dialed in, and it was a total team effort. Like, every single person played so great on the team today. So, yeah.
And with a score like 49-12, I would imagine it's a pretty comprehensive, complete game, top to bottom, all phases. You play both sides. How do you prepare for this game on offense and defense as a receiver and a safety?
I mean, it's a lot of running in practice. Like, I'm all the time, got to condition a lot, but yeah, it's not just me, it's like the entire team playing. We got a lot of people playing both ways now. Our quarterback's playing on defense, so I mean, we're just a bunch of dogs, and we get it done.
So you got some pretty raucous teammates over there. I'll get you to celebrate with them in a minute, but next week, I believe, is the finals. A big game against the defending champions. How do you prepare going into that game knowing that they hold the title and you want to knock them off?
Yes, sir. Well, we're the underdogs, obviously, but historically, this group of guys, we've been the underdogs in basketball and everything, and we love it. We thrive, and we just work really hard. So we're going to practice really hard all week, and we're going to come out swinging.
Excellent. Any last minute shout outs for our listeners and all your friends and family out there?
Yeah, I'm going to shout out all the fifth-year guys. We've been working for so long, and we want it really bad this year. So, yeah, we're coming.
Excellent. Well, good luck, Wes, and let's get back to your teammates.
Okay, thank you.
So the Trojans did what they had to do.
Yeah, took care of business. 34-33 to 49-12 is a big leap.
I think it kind of shows how. Again, I wasn't there for the game, so I can't speak to how it was. Chris had to go get it because, again, I was doing. It was funny. So originally the game was scheduled for noon. Was what I was told. So I picked up this voodoo game. I'm like, yeah, I can do it. I'll do the game in the afternoon. I'll go and call this game tonight. Really good game actually against Kirkland Lake. They lost, but very. It was pretty exciting.
My mom actually saw you there. She texted me.
I don't know what your mom looks like.
That's
so.
All right, but she was real fired up.
It was. It was. I know that we're talking about football, but it was a good game. But I'm not allowed to do any more voodoo games because I'm 0-2 now. There are only 2 losses at home were the 2 games that I did play-by-play for, Espanola and that. But I do have a couple of games still on the schedule, so I kind of joked in the group chat. Anyways, back to football though. Chris ended up getting the footage. It was rainy. It's funny because I'm a Ferris alumni. He's a Scholar alumni. And he said after the game, he's like, this is kind of cruel and unusual that you're making me have to interview the Trojans after they completely destroyed my team. I have to find the text because the text was so funny. And it's raining and what was it? Yeah, he said, asking me to come out in the rain to watch my team get killed is a sick, twisted form of punishment, is the text. And I was just kind of laughing because I was trying to get back from Powassan in time, but the game ended at like 9:10, and then it's like a 20-minute drive to get back to Lakeshore. But it was I was sad I missed it, but obviously I didn't seem like I missed much. And I guess Scholar now goes back to the drawing board. No wins this year.
Yeah, no, definitely a statement win for the Trojan side of things. But from the Scholar side of things, we think that the juniors are the favorites for that loop. So hopefully there are good things on the way. But I hope there was not many seniors or returners because that is a horrible way to finish off your NDA football career. And
it's tough because when I was talking last week during the Algonquin Scholar game, and I was talking to their coach, which I still don't remember his name, Jason, Josh. I'm sorry. When I was talking to him, he's like, we have such a good program at the junior level. They are the favorites to win that. I know they're the semifinals are set, so we'll have that up for you in a second here. But they were set because the quarterfinals also happened this week as well. I know that the Trojans will be facing the Barons, I believe, and then Chippewa against Scholar. Yeah. Quarterfinals, and I believe they're both happening today. I know the Trojans one's for sure is happening at 12:30. I think the other one's happening today too, and I think the finals are set for next week. Don't quote me on that. It's a little hard to get schedules and stuff, but keep your eye out on socials or head over to the game if you're watching this in time to catch it. But it's I think just the program itself. There's clearly either the jump to junior to senior is huge, or there's a little bit of a gap there between the coaching staffs. I don't know exactly what's happening, but there is a little bit of a disconnect, I think, there when you talk about. Now, to be fair, Algonquin and Ferris have really good football programs.
Yeah, it could just be that West Ferris had a couple of grade 13s like Wes and Nick, and Scholar got unlucky. But it also could be that it's a huge gap between junior and senior, and Scholar just had a bad year.
Do you notice that a lot, though? Because you went through that cycle. Did you notice there was a huge jump from going from a grade 10 to 11?
There is, only because of those grade 13 returners. If those kids throw wrenches because they're such a dominant force. Even that 1 year they turned, they're 19 years old playing against 16-year-olds. And then sometimes it's a complete mismatch.
Yeah, I do see that a lot, actually, when we do the Trapper games, because it's the U18 league, but there's U16 teams there. So, Sudbury has one, Sioux has one, North Bay has one. And when those U16 teams play U18 teams, it's when the Trappers play, both their teams play each other, it's pretty ugly a lot of times. But because you have guys who are 2, sometimes 3 years older, that are being dominated physically, and you'll see that. You'll see teams, the U18 teams, physically dominate other U16 teams.
NDA hockey is varsity, and specifically last year Algonquin had a grade 13, Jacob McGill.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
We had a great interview with him too. Speaking of football, we had a great football interview with him when they won last year.
He is fantastic, but he is unfortunately very skilled playing against like 9th and 10th graders.
Yeah.
He's just like, he didn't even mean to do anything really. He unfortunately just ran a few kids over. But
it's tough. It's tough when there's a physical disadvantage, and also that style. That's like double A basically in terms of a lot of triple A guys. Like we talked about Bradley, right? Like Heath Bradley now playing with Voodoos. I think he's out injured right now. I think so. I don't think he was playing Saturday night, but yeah, it's interesting. But speaking, going back to the Voodoos one last time, it is great to see the number of people from the Trapper side that have now come in and made a huge impact. Before it was people from down south or from the U.S., and now it's like legit. Most of that team is former U18 Trappers.
absolutely,
which is cool.
And similar with Lakers and Panthers. Lakers men's volleyball has at least 2 North Bay alumni, Ben Franz and Jude Caruso, and then the Panthers basketball has, I guess, a guy, not a kid, from Northern named Corey, and he was like lethal in the NDA league and moved on to play.
All right. Yeah. So the Trojans and Barons play tonight, not Saturday, Friday night, 7 p.m. at Omichelle for the finals. The Barons are looking to take their fourth championship in 5 years. I believe this is back-to-back years. I think they won last year. I think this is back-to-back repeats, and I think they are the team to beat. But statement one for the Trojans. What's your prediction?
I do not think it's smart to bet against Algonquin.
Okay.
But the Trojans, you can't, like, putting up 49 points is not an accident. They're going to face a little bit tougher defense, I imagine, but if they can keep that offense clicking.
Give me a score.
34-31 Barons.
I thought you were going to pick the Trojans. Okay. Well, here's the thing. Do I take the alumni in me or do I take the... We're not betting on this. So, okay, I'm going to say... I got to go realistic here. Ooh, okay. I do think it's going to be a close game. I don't think there's going to be a blowout. I'm going to try to get to the game as early as possible, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be within a score. I'm going to say it is 30-23 West Ferris. Just to kind of be on both sides here.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. When we're back next Friday, we'll see, and who knows? Maybe we'll have another. We'll be talking to Ryan or Mark. We'll be talking to somebody. But I still remember last year though with McGill, he had like the eye black all down his down his eyes and stuff. So we'll see. So on the basketball courts, I went out, got a little bit of footage as Ferris was playing Scholar, this time on the junior side at Ferris for basketball. It was a pretty good back and forth affair. It was Ferris getting the lead, like they put the buckets in, but it was a pretty good matchup. Kind of sad not to see the Trojans with a senior team, though I think it looks like them and Algonquin are the teams to beat in the juniors. But overall, it was West Ferris who got themselves out to a double-digit lead. They ended up winning by about 20 or so, and they took down the Bears as they look to head into their playoffs. And as I said, for junior, it looks like it's going to be Algonquin and Ferris as the ones to beat on that circuit.
Yeah, I think Algonquin may have beaten them once or twice in a tournament style, but in the regular season, Ferris has been pretty dominant in that junior loop. Yeah,
and again, as I said, it's sad to see them not have a senior team. I think they will. I was talking to the Scholar coach who was actually in the studio for yesterday, because we have a co-op student that works on our side. And I was just talking to her because I'm like, oh, I saw you at the game. You're a junior coach. Can you tell me the final score? Because I wasn't able to stay to the end. And yeah, she was just, I was talking to her about that program, and it looks like it's no guarantees, but I think they have the right, if they have enough people, I think they have the right people in place.
I agree. I would say girls basketball is not something that Scholar is known for in my mind. It's more boys volleyball, boys hockey, boys football. But like to see them be like circling in junior and dominant in senior is exciting.
Yeah, and Ferris is the other way. Ferris they were football and basketball. Like, when you look back at the Larry Tugas days and the Mike Mitchell days and like all those people, right? They had it was baseball, baseball, football, basketball. Like those were the ones where usually on the boys' side of things. Well, because I guess baseball was just varsity, was just anybody, but definitely boys basketball. I don't know how the girls basketball did traditionally. I think they were still really good. I know my sister played girls basketball. I remember them being really good, but I know going back again to a Larry Tugas, like that was an intense program. Like football and basketball, like you do not mess around with that. And there were a number like Joey Puddester we've had on this show before. I went to school with Joey. You had like Sam Levesque, who's now I think the boys basketball coach. He's also on the football side coaching. Charlie Hancock. Like there's a whole bunch of people who played and were really good. And it's funny thinking back to like how old they looked. And I guarantee you, if you went back and looked at how old they would probably look so young.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So, and then on the other side, you said your sister played, Chippewa played against Franco.
Yeah, Chippewa played Franco on must have been Tuesday night, and it was a close affair at half. It was a 2-point game coming out of half, and then Chippewa turned it on in the fourth and won by about 20 as well.
Yeah, I was close to. I was going to go to both, and then I had to be somewhere for 6, so I had to I had to choose one or the other, which was kind of tough, but. It does look so like playoffs are pretty much set, right? As we get, I know they play a Monday game, and there is a little bit of, that Monday game could change some things.
The Monday game could have implications, but it would have to be a absolute blunder by Schollard.
It's Algonquin and Schollard.
Yeah.
And Algonquin has to win by 20 points. 27 points, which isn't unheard of, but it will be tough.
It's tough to beat the number 1 seed by 30, yeah.
So going into next week, we've got the playoffs and stuff. I know you got the inside scoop a little bit on what's coming up in the playoffs.
Yeah, the quarterfinals are set for next week after that 1-game affair between Algonquin and Schollard to end the regular season, and then the following week we'll do the one game semi either Monday or Tuesday, and then the 3-game final series will start.
So just make sure to check out socials for what games are playing where, who's playing where. We just don't know anything set yet, so just keep an eye out on socials to find out what's going on. So Wednesday night, I was at the Schollard Franco volleyball game. It was held at Schollard Hall, and that was a big one for the kind of that battle for second place to see who will get the chance to face the Titans, the Chippewa Ravens, presumably in the finals, as if everything goes according to plan, but anything can happen in the playoffs. It was a very close affair. I know I was there at the second set. Schollard kind of ran away from, Franco won. Schollard won the first set, but Franco really kind of crushed them in the second set. They won about 25-13, somewhere in that range. So they really kind of showed it, but then it was kind of back and forth in the third set with Schollard Hall ending up the victor against Franco. The juniors also saw Schollard win as well. So this is a big series. I wouldn't even say a big series, but this was a big game to kind of show off, how the playoffs are going to go, I think.
Absolutely. I loved when we were looking at it in football, those playoff previews. It just starts early. Like everybody's adrenaline is running high. And I am very curious to see who's going to win. But I love about volleyball that it's the 5 sets. I love that even like regular season games, the semifinal is going to be like a grueling 5-set match. Probably all the timeouts. It's going to be fantastic.
As somebody who has to cover it, though, I kind of like the 3 sets. I'm not going to lie, because it's a long, like it's almost 2 hours if it goes to 5 sets, right? That's why I like basketball a lot. Basketball's pretty much on point, hour, maybe hour and a half most. Volleyball, it's like when you're covering it, you're like, please let this be straight sets almost.
Yeah, well, a good basketball game is like very fast, and a good volleyball game is very slow.
Yeah. So we like to cover basketball here. I don't think the one thing I was just thinking about this, we didn't cover as much basketball as I'd like. They kind of had a little bit of weird scheduling around like what I was available. I'd like to get a little bit more next year. I don't know if maybe the boys will be easier, or how girls volleyball and boys basketball schedules will be, but I wish I got a little bit more of the girls basketball. But I was happy with the amount of volleyball we got, which was good. Almost every week we got something, which was awesome. But yeah, going into the playoffs, Chippewa's the team to beat. Now, does Chippewa have to play a quarterfinal, or do they get buys? Do we know yet?
I don't remember how many teams there are, but imagine there's about 6, which would give Chippewa a bye and the second place.
Because I know they went unbeaten this year. They didn't lose a game. I remember seeing that post on socials, which was good for them. And they're obviously going to be, as we've said many times, they're going to be the favorites. So I guess the question is, out of Franco, Scholar, and Algonquin, the team that has to face each other kind of in the quarterfinals out of those 3, that's going to be a very interesting quarterfinal. And then there's probably going to be like another team that's in there that one person's going to have an easier place into the semis, I would imagine.
Yeah, if somebody's going to have to play or get to play Ferris maybe or Mattawa, and then they're in the semifinal.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. Again, keep an eye on socials. We know it starts next week, but keep an eye on socials for the exact time. I'm assuming it's probably going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, somewhere in that range. And then following with the semis and finals as we head into the Christmas break.
Yeah, we also have this weekend the Scarlet and Gold volleyball tournament that those boys are gearing up for. Chippewa's big one. It's today and tomorrow. It's 20 teams.
Wow.
Some teams from Manitouwadge, way up north. And they put it on really well. You can watch the games at the Algonquin Gym or the Canadore Dome, which is interesting. I thought I don't know so why wild. The Chippewa Gym is not in there, but that's what they did.
And that's such a drastic change. I know we've talked Algonquin Gym a lot, but that's a big, like, going between that and the Dome. Now, I haven't been to the Dome for volleyball, and I know that there's like the field and stuff there. Are there set like hard courts?
Yeah, there's 2 hard volleyball courts. We hosted girls OFSA last year, and we used them. I would say they're nice. They're quality. The Dome is. I don't love the Dome atmosphere and the air in there. I think it's kind of dry, but
I think it's kind of stale.
The court is a quality court.
Okay. So, that's all. Why is it called Scarlet and Gold? Is it because Chippewa puts it on?
Yeah.
Because I know they do basketball as well. Like, they had that one earlier on in the year, kind of before the season started.
Yeah, that one. I don't remember what that one's called, but Chippewa does the Scarlet and Gold volleyball, boys and girls, and then the Art Gaber or the Tomahawk basketball in early December.
Oh, I think it was Scholar who put it on. Maybe it wasn't Scarlet and Gold. Maybe it was they had a different name for it. But, yeah.
North Bay's turning 100, and what a time to be here. From the buzz of the Heritage Parade to sunset concerts at the waterfront, the city is alive with celebration. And you know who's right in the middle of it all? Homewood Suites by Hilton North Bay. We're proud to be a part of this milestone moment. Whether you're coming home from a family reunion, planning a gathering with friends, or just simply making the most of everything the Centennial has to offer, our doors are open. Stay in a spacious suite that feels like home, with a full kitchen to cook in, room to relax, and a space to unwind after a full day of fun. Are you hosting something bigger? Our event spaces and amazing local partners like the Grand and Stock Transportation make it easy to bring people together. Best of all, they're just steps from the action. The fireworks, the food trucks, the music, the laughter, it's all right here. Celebrate 100 years of North Bay with us. Use code Centennial to save on your stay anytime this year. Be at home with Homewood Suites by Hilton North Bay. Join the party today at 495 Oak Street West or give us a call at 705-495-3000.
Dear North Bay, you've always been more than a place on the map. You're home to me. This is where I built a life with my husband, raised our kids, and taught in local schools for over 24 years. I'm proud to be part of this community. Earlier this year, my world shifted. After living with anxiety, depression, and PTSD for much of my life, I reached a point where I couldn't keep going alone. Walking into the emergency department at the North Bay Regional Health Center was one of the hardest things I've ever done. But what I found there changed everything. A nurse who made me feel safe, a crisis worker who truly listened. For the first time in a long time, I felt seen. That care gave me hope, and it inspired me to give back by supporting local healthcare so that others in our community can access the same compassionate care I did. If my story resonates with you, I hope you'll consider supporting the NBRHC Foundation. Please visit nbrhcfoundation.ca or call 705-495-8125 to give. Because mental health is health. With gratitude, Tiffany Van Meer.
In Lakers results and action, the women's soccer team unfortunately fell to Queens 1-0 on Sunday, which means they are officially out of the playoffs. It was a good season for them so far. Unfortunately, they had a great regular season. Unfortunately, we're not able to get past the second round of the OUA playoffs. So just like the men's team, they are now finished for the season. However, flipping over that to lacrosse.
The men's lacrosse played 2 games last weekend. They unfortunately fell to Guelph 17-8, but then came back the next day and won 15-13 against U of T, improving their record to 7-2. And they play this Sunday for their final regular season game at Brock at 2 p.m.
On the ice for the men's, they continue their hot start as they are now 4-1 after a pair of victories on the weekend. Friday, they were in Ottawa. They beat the University of Ottawa 4-1 and then went over into Quebec and beat McGill 7-1. They are still on the road as they will go back to Ottawa to face Carleton on Friday, so tonight at 7 o'clock. And then they head over to Ontario Tech to face them 3 o'clock on Saturday in Oshawa.
In women's hockey, last weekend on the road, they unfortunately lost 4-0 to Wilfrid Laurier and then 3-1 to Queens. They're still on the road. This weekend, they play tonight against U of T at 7 and tomorrow against Guelph at 7:30.
And as the soccer and lacrosse seasons wrap up, that means it's the start of basketball and volleyball. And in men's basketball, they kick things off tonight against the University of Windsor here at home in the Robert J. Surtees Student Athletic Center at 8 p.m. on Friday. And then Saturday, they also host Western at 6 o'clock.
And women's basketball is very similar. At home, they play tonight, 6 p.m. against Windsor, and tomorrow, Western at 4 p.m.
And in the volleyball world, both volleyball teams are on the road as the men and women face the University of Windsor. The men play at 8 p.m. on Friday and 3 p.m. on Saturday.
The women are again very similar. They play 6 p.m. on Friday and 1 p.m. on Saturday against Windsor.
And that is all of the Lakers results and scores. And there's a whole lot of stuff. There's rowing that's going on. As I was looking through it, I'm like, there is so much stuff in the athletic world of Nipissing.
Yeah, I think the Ultimate Frisbee team had nationals last weekend. It was rainy. They finished 11th, and then 3rd in Spirit, which they were happy with. It's a new team, new program.
3rd in Spirit?
Yeah, there's
Spirit Award?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's not a real sport because I know how hard Ultimate is, but if you have a Spirit Award,
to be honest, badminton does the same thing.
Why?
At their big events, it's when they.
Oh, dude, and okay, yeah. For NDA, I get it. This is
no, it's
university sports.
Yeah, it's not even for NDA. It's when like Northern Ontario makes a team and you go to like compete against Western Ontario, Southern Ontario, then they do a spirit thing.
I disagree with that, but to each their own. You do you.
I'm not very fond of it personally, but I think I'm just more intense and competitive than that.
Yeah. Anyways, that is a really neat fact. And as we said, the rowing is going on today, so the 24th. Ringette also starts, which is kind of neat. People forget North Bay is the birthplace of Ringette over at the Ferris Arena, which they're going to probably get rid of. So that's unfortunate at the Sam Jacks, but it's neat and it's cool to see that happen at a higher level as well. Action MMA had their 10-year kickboxing anniversary event on October 18th, and Corey Jackson sent over some information, some footage, videos, so thank you to Corey for the update, and hopefully I get all this information right, as there was a lot sent. If I did miss anything, I apologize. There were 2 events from what I understand. The no-gi submission wrestling from top athletes in the north, from Timmins, Sudbury, and Chippewa and North Bay. A couple of local clubs were involved. The Coalition MMA and Gateway Martial Arts here from North Bay. The no-gi submission highlight sees Action MMA member Jensen Cook with the win by Darcy Choke 6.5 minutes into the 7-minute match versus Brad Hunter from Total Martial Arts Center in Timmins. For the K1 kickboxing, it was Tetsu, also from the Total Martial Arts Center in Timmins, as he defeated Bryce from Troop MMA Sudbury. And I will have all of the results and where you can see all of them. The link will be in the description. That'll take you to Tapology, which has all the results on there as well. And again, big thank you to Corey for sending in all the footage and videos and everything like that. Seems like an awesome event. He said that the place that they were in, it was rocking, and the people upstairs were talking about how loud it was. So that's great to see. Yeah,
that's absolutely wonderful to hear. And guys from Sudbury and Timmins coming down, like people traveled for it. It wasn't just an intramural. Yep. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a huge event there as well. We'll have to get Corey back on as well, because he explains this stuff way better than I do. And I was going to ask him to come on, and then I'm like, it's a little tight. Trying to get everything kind of scheduled around, but I hope I did it a little bit of justice. Are you in MMA? No,
I
not really.
Not. Jensen Cook, actually, he was my coworker at Shoppers Drug Mart for a bit, and so he talked to me a little bit about it. But that was 5 years ago now.
That's cool.
Yeah, but that's awesome to hear that he won.
Yeah, apparently his nickname, according to Corey, is Jude Jensen, which is kind of
a great one.
That's kind of a funny one, and I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything that he sent. There will be some video and pictures, of course, that were supplied by Corey as well. Does a great job of covering these events as well, and it's good to see the amount of people who constantly come out to these events. I know Corey talked so much about back in the summer. I think this was before you were around, and he was talking about just how well received it gets in their big fight nights, which is awesome to see.
So last weekend I went to the US of A. I went to Dearborn, Michigan to watch my girlfriend Stephanie play some hockey.
You got the hat?
I did get the hat. And they played a smaller school in like northern Michigan, Aquinas. And the first game they played at home, it was their Pink the Rink, the breast cancer awareness night.
Did you rock a pink shirt?
I did.
Nice.
But I wore her jersey on top, so it didn't peek through. Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Well, I had to support her, and the other boyfriends were not wearing pink, so anyway.
Cracked under the pressure.
Yeah, a little bit. They had a big 15-0 win. The shots on goal after the second period. Guess what the shots on goal after the second period were?
So, knowing the score, knowing hockey, 45-5.
49-0.
I was close.
You were very close.
I was like, do I overshoot at 49-0? They had no shots on net.
They only had 10 skaters, and one of their skaters was a goalie that was playing skater, because the game before they had gotten into a bench brawl. And a bunch of their key players
so
were in.
So the team's not that bad then.
No, well, but then we headed down to Aquinas, headed the 2.5 hours north, and beat them 13-0 with all their players.
Okay, never mind.
And then they had the starting goalie. The Dearborn Wolverines, I watched the game. I don't know if it was quite this high. They were credited with 105 shots in the second game. Which
wait, what? I thought you were going to add both together.
No.
Okay, that's not insane.
But the poor girl had to make 92 saves, and
your save percentage is good.
Well, yeah.
That is tough. I mean, I've had this conversation a lot with Rob Graham, who I do the Trappers commentary with, and he's a former goalie, does all the goalie resiliency stuff, works with a lot of goalies, and I always ask him that. I'm like, do you want to face more shots or not? And I think as a goalie, it's like kind of there is a fatigue level. Like 102 shots is a lot of shots, but you also want to be involved in the game, because if you only face 5 shots a game, which honestly, like the Trappers usually have to face like very few shots in a game. They don't actually track shots in the league, but yeah, that's a lot of.
One of the parents in the second game were talking to us in between periods, and I heard one of the boyfriends who's dating the captain of the Dearborn girls said it's a 20-team loop or 16 teams, and it splits top and bottom, and if the top teams don't beat the bottom teams by, I think the magic number is 6, it effectively doesn't count as a win.
What?
Yeah.
Just because of goal differential, or
pretty much, because
Wow.
if you can't beat a bottom team if you can't dominate them,
it's still a win, but it's not considered. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like I know exactly what you mean.
I thought that was really interesting.
So it's like a league, but you play a bunch of teams and then it splits off, and that's weird.
Yeah, and then like they do the playoffs, but I think as long as you finish in that top half or top 8, you move on to nationals in St. Louis, and then you play like Sioux College and Niagara College.
And I'm assuming that team is probably in that top 8.
Yeah, they went last year. I believe they went the last 2 years. Like they're a strong program. They're better than the Ann Arbor girls, which is good to see.
Mm-hmm.
And so hopefully they keep it rolling. Hopefully they go to nationals. I think they said this is the best team in Stephanie. This is Stephanie's 3rd year, and these girls are the best girls.
It seems pretty good. So that's fun. Good trip though. Nothing crazy happened.
Nothing.
You're gonna get tariffed
ridiculous.
or something like that.
I did get to see where that car was on fire. It was.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, the car was on. Was it still on fire or what?
No, there was just a big black pile in a parking spot. It was a handicap parking spot as well, which was just horrible.
There's so many questions. Anyways, so yeah, that's neat. I'm glad you had a good trip.
Yeah, thank you.
That's exciting.
It's always awesome to see her. Hopefully, I think she'll come up for American Thanksgiving. So
yeah, we got to have her on the show as well, because she'd be a cool person to talk to.
Yeah,
more about what her pyrotechnics is like. I guess I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, that was our Sportscast. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up as well. Next week we're gonna have a lot. We're gonna have playoffs in the NDA. We're gonna have the finals of the football. We're gonna see. Not that I'm biased, but we're gonna see a Trojans win. Knock on wood. Hopefully, as the alumni in me, and as honestly the Echo side of me just wants good content. So I just hope it's a good game and it's not a blowout, and it's worth watching.
Absolutely.
Really. Other than that, we got basketball playoffs. We've got the Scarlet Gold tournament, which I think you said you're going to be there for a bit of.
I'll be able to.
And then volleyball playoffs. Lots of stuff happening. And then next thing you know, it's going to be December, and there's going to be nothing happening in the world of the NDA. So
yep, just Lakers, basketball, volleyball, hockey.
They've got a lot of stuff going on. I think because the NDA is done after the playoffs, right? Nothing that happens in between now and.
I think the boys basketball, girls volleyball just starts. Like they play, they might play a little bit.
Cool. All right. Well, that was it for Sportscast number. Which number are we here? 58. You already know it. Okay. Thanks so much for watching, listening. If you have anything that you want to be covered, or you have scores or anything, you can always send it to my email at ben@northbayecho.ca or on our socials at North Bay Echo. Thanks so much for watching or listening, and we'll see you again next week.